I think if I have to choose three main objectives or challenges that we have, one is we've been benefited by a very positive external environment, which will change in the next few years. I think less benign environment, and for that, obviously, we need to improve productivity of our labor force. We need to reduce the infrastructure gap, as I've mentioned. Invest more in R&D, try to add value to our export basket. So that's one particular goal, which is multi-sectoral. It's not only the finance ministry's responsibility, but obviously that's one important goal. The second one, obviously, is to take advantage of the fact that we've opened up our economy. And for that, we need to facilitate trade and be able to advance in terms of opening up new markets, diversifying markets, and again, offering quality export basket and the transfer of know-how from other countries that invest here. And I think the third challenge, which is quite directed to growth and to government effectiveness, is making the progress be benefiting all of the population. Social inclusion is the main objective of this government, but trying to work upon the assets that we'll be able to accumulate. Macroeconomic fundamentals are sound. There's credibility in the policies that we pursue, but we need to go to the reform process. We need to adjust, reform our government. We need to enhance our institutions, which haven't really haven't reformed at the pace that in other areas that we've seen. So I think those are the areas that we need to definitely work upon, which are big challenges, not easy to resolve, but that will make the difference, that we're able to sustain growth at levels above 6%, which are needed to eradicate poverty and to have more opportunities for all. I think our region overall has learned the lessons from the past. I think given the fact that we've been prone to recurring crisis in the past, give us an edge over other areas of the world where financial crisis, for instance, or sovereign debt crisis were absent. So I think we have experience, and I think we've learned the lessons. That in spite of governments' ideologies, macroeconomic stability is a must. And I think overall, with certain heterogeneity, Latin America has learned that lesson. And if you look in terms of the policies overall that have been pursued, I think macroeconomic stability has been maintained. And even in small countries that are now tapping resources from capital markets. There's Bolivia, for instance, recently issued bonds in the international market. And that's something quite telling about a small country that through its soundness and its macroeconomic fundamentals has attracted the appetite of investors. So I think that thing we've learned, and this gives us leeway and gives us margin to be able to confront a less favorable world. Latin America is very heterogeneous. If you look at the reality of countries, north of Panama is one thing, and countries south of Panama is another reality. I think for countries like my own, Peru, commodity prices is the main channel that we may be affected. If there was a sharp decline in global growth or a hard landing in China, that definitely would affect us because we're quite dependent on commodity exports to those countries. So I think we're in a better position. Our balance sheets, both in the government, the private sector, our households, are sound overall, and we are able to mitigate the negative shocks that may come from abroad. But Latin America is quite heterogeneous. There's no really single policies being pursued. We're a heterogeneous bunch, but I think overall macroeconomic soundness has been maintained in most countries, and this is an asset to confront future crises. trying to entice private sector participation through an aggressive public-private partnership program. But this entails also modifying and improving the efficiency of the government, not only as a regulator, but being able to use our own, public investment to be able to entice further private capital participation to close the gap and to improve the efficiency in the provision of services. So I think all of this will definitely lead to more employment, more growth, therefore more employment generation, and hopefully jobs of better quality, which is something that we're striving for, and it's part of the main objectives and challenges of our government.